terms of the mechanics of the car, it would probably be more accurate for me to describe to you what has not been replaced as opposed to what has been replaced. I literally have a stack of maintenance paperwork about this thick with all the stuff that I've done to the car. It's basically been either dealer maintained at Acura of North Haven here in Connecticut, or maintained by me. For some stuff it did go to another shop called Mitchell Schuster Imports in Southington, Connecticut. They're a Honda specialist. They're a fantastic shop. If you're ever looking for a shop that does Hondas in Connecticut, I would highly recommend them. But the car has been maintained extremely, extremely well above average. Pretty much everything that goes into this car are brand new OEM parts, direct from Honda, direct from Acura. I don't mess around with aftermarket stuff. The entire cylinder head, the head gasket kind of started leaking on me about a year ago. I pulled the head off, brand new OEM head gasket. I took the head to a machine shop that specializes in Hondas. I got them on recommendation from Acura North Haven. It's the guy they use. The entire cylinder head was rebuilt. Cut the valves, cut the seats, new guides, new seals, the whole deal. They pressure tested, they hot tanked the head. So the head is pretty much brand new. The block was in fine shape. I do what I can to kind of take you around and show you what else has been done, but brand new head in the car. That's why it looks so clean. I repainted the valve cover red at that point. This is not a Type R engine, it's just got a red valve cover. All the oil seals have been done. Obviously the valve cover is pretty much brand new, no leaking around there. Ignition components, the coil's been done, the rotor, all this stuff is pretty recent. Cam plug's been done, a little O-ring on the other side of the distributor in here, so there's no leaks up at the top end. If I'm being honest, I replaced some exhaust components a couple weeks ago, and when I was under there I noticed a little bit of seepage from the oil pan gasket. It's been replaced. It's probably been about 4 years since it's been done. Usually tightening up the bolts a little bit will buy you about a year or two before you gotta look into replacing that. It's just seeping a little bit, but in the interest of full disclosure, the power steering pump over here about a year and a half ago started seeping a little bit. You'll see some seepage over there. On a recommendation from a friend of mine, I tightened these bolts up over there. It stopped the leak. Hasn't been leaking ever since, but the residuals that you see over here are from before I wound up tightening up the plate. Exhaust manifold's been replaced, downpipe's been replaced, catalytic converter's been replaced. That's the only one that's not an OEM part. It's an aftermarket MagnaFlow. It's a good unit. B-pipe's been replaced, muffler's been replaced, so the entire exhaust system from the engine back, it's all been done. And the cat's the only thing that's not an OEM part. It's another OEM Honda muffler. What else has been done? Oh, suspension. The car is sitting on OEM Type R springs and shocks. I put them on the car probably about 5 years ago now. They had about 30,000 miles, 30,000 miles on them at the time. They're still in perfect condition. The car handles fantastically. My other car is an E36 M3. Believe me, the car handles fine. This car, it does pretty darn well. Every piece of rubber on the underside of the car, every bushing has been replaced. All of them. When I did the Type R suspension conversion, all new lower control arm bushings, every piece of rubber and all the shock assemblies front and rear have been done. It's got the Type R rear lower control arms back here. I replaced those bushings. I mean, it's all been done. In the interest of full disclosure, if you buy this car come winter time, you're going to notice the suspension creaks a little bit in the cold. You go over like decent sized bump and you hear kind of like a little. It's been in and out of the dealer. I've had it up and down on jack stands. We couldn't locate it. If you're asking me, I honestly think it's the ball joints. And I had the dealer check them out. They said there's no play in them. They're in fantastic condition. But sometimes what happens over time, I guess the grease in them, in the cold it can kind of bind up a little bit and it doesn't lubricate the joint like it should, so it makes a little bit of noise. And they think that's what it might be, but just never got around to replacing them because the car drives fine. It's not a safety issue. It's not a mechanical issue. I got a motorcycle going by. No, it's just an annoyance in the cold weather. So just so you know, if you're gonna buy this thing and then winter rolls around, you're like, what the hell? It's making all sorts of noise. You didn't tell me about this. That's what that creaking is. And ball joints aren't bad to replace, but it's not something I've gotten around to doing. All the axles, all of them, there's two. Both axles, inner outer CV joints, both replaced. probably about three years ago now or something like that. I did the half shaft bearing as well when that was done. Both transmission seals have been replaced. You know, no transmission leaks, no oil leaks or anything weird like that. It's all been done. When I did the head gasket, you know, obviously new OEM seals on all the fuel injectors, the intake manifold, the exhaust manifold, all that stuff. The thermostat's been done within the past year. That's an OEM one. Fuel filter, all OEM fluids in it. ABS modulator and the brake master cylinder over there, it's OEM Acura brake fluid. OEM Acura fluid in the clutch system over there. OEM Acura power steering fluid. It's all been flushed, it's all been replaced with the OEM stuff. I basically have been running Mobil 1 530 in the car since I got it. Up until maybe about 6 or 8 months ago, I switched over to Rotella T, fully synthetic motor oil. I've been running that with pretty good luck. I think it's just a better oil than the Mobil 1, and reading some oil analysis papers, it appears to protect better from wear, and it's a little bit cheaper to tell you the truth. So I switched over to that. I'm running that on all my cars now. My girlfriend's car, she's got an RSX, and I've had pretty good luck with it. No issues whatsoever with it. So, you know, like I said, the cylinder head's all brand new. I mean, the car's been maintained pretty well. If you take a look at it, you pop it up, you're gonna see little, you can't see with the shadows. See that staining right there? Everything that I do with the car, I put high temp copper-based anti-seize on, so you shouldn't have any issues with bolts being rusted onto the underside of the thing if you ever need to do any work on it. But you know, you will see remnants of it here and there on the exhaust system and you know, suspension parts and stuff like that. This car's not been maintained like a hack job. Everything I do gets, you know, torqued down with the torque wrench to proper spec. Everything gets done according to the Helms manual, which is the manual that the shops use to maintain this. It comes direct from Acura. It's like a $100 book. I got it on PDF, and that's the manual that I use to do all the work on this thing. So, I mean, it's been maintained. Don't let the 212,000 miles scare you away. You know, take it into consideration. It obviously has affected the book value of the car a little bit, but you know, in terms of drivability, the car drives phenomenally, especially with the suspension on there. Cylinder head's been rebuilt, the whole motor functions fine. Transmission, I mean, fluid changes have been religious. The car's definitely been maintained. So if you're looking for a nice car that's been treated well, and you know, the thing's not all riced out, it's got some tasteful modifications done to it. I mean, I don't drive the car like a grandma. It's been driven hard here and there, but in my opinion, that's a little bit of a good thing, because if you get one of these cars that have never been taken above 3,000 RPM, you get in there and you start, you know, beating on it when you own it, stuff starts breaking. I don't beat on my car by any means. When I start the thing up, my car doesn't move until the oil's circulating correctly. It never gets taken above 3,000 RPM until it's up to the normal operating temperature for a couple minutes. So, especially in the winter. But even in warm weather like this, I don't mess around with you know, revving the motor until I know it's, you know, nice and warm. Like I said, I got some stuff in the trunk for work, but I guess I can pop it and show you. A lot of stuff back here for work, but pretty practical. I mean, the seats fold down. There is a lot of room back here. I fit a good amount of stuff in here. Very practical car. Get about 30 miles a gallon. I mean, it is what it is. It's a Honda. These things run forever. I was honestly planning on taking the car to 300,000. I just want to move on. I don't know. I think I might wind up with an RSX. I was looking at the WRXs. They're both great cars. I don't know. It's just time to move on from this thing. I love it. I'm going to miss it, but hopefully it'll go to someone that treats it well and someone that appreciates it. So, you know, these things are kind of hard to come by these days. You know, GSRs, a lot of them have been stolen for the motors. People rip the motors out. They wind up in Civic hatches and stuff like that. So, you know, to find one in original condition that's been treated well, you're going to be looking around for a little bit. So, if you're interested in coming to drive it, feel free to send me a PM, send me an email, give me a call, anything like that. Let me know. I'm pretty much available anytime after 4 p.m. on weekdays, anytime on weekends. You know, just give me a ring and let me know. I don't know, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and wish me luck at the sale, I guess. Thanks.